After a lifetime of researching the dynamic and enigmatic world of light entertainment, I've decided to ditch my notebook and meet the people who inspire me. What makes them the people they are? How do they feel about the show business landscape in which they find themselves? And in a world where anyone can be a star, is there still a need for performers who have universal appeal? Come with me on a journey of discovery as I get a unique insight into Britain's favourite stars with a little help from my glamorous assistants. Yeah, well, I say glamorous, more like hazardous. And of course, we'll have a bit of fun along the way.
MotoGP and Superbike World Champion Carl Fogarty was born into racing and became one of the most successful Superbike racers of all time, winning 4 World Championships. A freak crash at Phillip Island shattered Carl's shoulder and later that year forced him into retirement. Yet that didn't stop his will to win, and in 2014, Carl took on another challenge when he entered the jungle for I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I was interested to get his take on an unparalleled career in British sport and hear his hopes for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Carl Fogarty.
Okay, so we'll get on to your major career highlights in a second, but firstly, something to note about you is that you seem a very gutsy and determined guy, especially from your time in the jungle. That sort of reputation, do you feel that puts a certain amount of pressure on you in the industry?
No, not really. I didn't feel any pressure. I was just me how I was, my makeup, I guess. Just very determined to win races, you know. It wasn't any pressure to be a certain way, a certain person. So no, it's just everyone's different and how they approach things, and you know how they set their goals, I guess. You know. Okay,
brilliant. So, in your opinion, what extent has your accessible public image helped to popularise MotoGP as a whole?
Oh God. Well, obviously I did Superbike, and that was the biggest 4-stroke championship in the world at the time. Now it's MotoGP, obviously, because you know that once that was created, I think it was created on the back of how popular, how big Superbikes was, to be honest. And you know, my success obviously was you know the height of all that, the golden era, I guess they call it, the Superbike. So it's something I don't really think about, really. You know, it's just something that happened, really. And to maybe some parts of why that changed, and that's great. But you know, I don't really think about it, to be honest.
How did you feel following in your dad's footsteps as a motocross champion?
He didn't force me to race bikes. I wanted to race bikes. I probably started a little bit late compared to what they start these days, but no, anybody else except me, really.
No, I suppose growing up around it is just a case of encouragement, I suppose. And
yeah. No, he's always there to guide me, because obviously he's been there and sort of done it. You know, helped me get started out sort of in racing, really, which you know it's not the cheapest of sports to get involved in and to get started in. So he helped me a lot in the early days, for sure. Yeah,
obviously you mentioned the cost, then also a bit of a cost on your body. Josh has asked about the second round of the year's series at Phillip Island in Australia. I think that was in 2000, wasn't it? When you got some pretty severe injuries in your arm during a crash?
Yeah, I mean that's when it all ended, really. That was what turned out to be my last ever race because of the injuries. I don't remember a lot about it, really. Just I remember just waking up in hospital and kind of being told what happened, really. So yeah, the injuries, I've knocked myself out pretty badly, but I think the big injury that was bad at the time. I was to smash my shoulder, and it became quite clear, I guess, early on that I was going to struggle to get it back to what it was, you know, the full movements and full strength back in a shoulder with sort of damaged tissue, damaged sort of muscle, really. So yeah, that was not the way I wanted it to end. Obviously, I wanted to go out on a high, but I guess in some ways I'm still here. So
no, exactly.
It could have been a lot worse, I guess.
But how do you feel such an abrupt end to a career affect somebody? How did it affect you personally?
And what initially happened, I wasn't bothered at all. It was almost like a relief, really, that finally it's over. I don't have to go out and win the race, put pressure on myself to win the race. The expectation from everybody, sponsors, the crowd, TV, of me going to win again has now gone. So I think initially I wasn't too worried about it. It was everybody else that was upset and stuff. You know, that it was all over really. But I guess then as time goes by, a year or two goes by, then you start thinking, oh, you know, kind of miss it a bit now. Having seen how big it is, and you know, I was a big part of that. Sit back after having to watch it. I didn't really like that, to be honest. That's when it became. We're down to cancer, really. Saying, look, you know, stop trying to forget who you are and sort of go out and celebrate who you are and get back involved with the sport, really. And then he died, and I kind of did that, really. From 2010 onwards, I kind of got back involved with it all, really, I suppose, and did some stuff and that. And yeah, from then on until now, I do follow it, really. I follow the sport, and, you know, both British Superbikes, World Superbikes, and MotoGP is what I follow, yeah.
So we'll move on to 2014 then, and you were victorious in the jungle and won I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of It. How did you find being in such close proximity to other sort of big celebrities?
I found it fine. I was there. I was as you saw, I probably came across fine. That was, I guess, my big worry going in there was other people. I knew I wasn't be scared of anything in there. My fear was coping without food, you know, coping with boredom, and coping with the other people. And I coped really well with all three. That was the challenge for me going in there. But yeah, the other people, that would have been a problem if, you know, they thought they were bigger or better or more famous than me or whatever. I don't know. But it wasn't like that. Everybody felt they were the same. No one thought they were bigger or better than anybody else, and that's the way it should be. Really, maybe a bit like this year's bunch. I haven't really seen much of it this year, but everybody got on really, really well. So that was the big challenge out of the way, really, and I coped really, really well. But, you know, I just tried to throw myself into the show and enjoy, and I did. I just got stuck in, and I kept myself busy. It's what I do. I don't like being bored, and you know. So I didn't expect what happened. I need to go on win the biggest TV show in the UK. I didn't expect that to happen. I really didn't. I thought they all kept falling out, and then one by one, and we got to the final. I thought, oh my God, it's incredible, you know. And even when I got to the final, I still just down to public opinion, really, public vote. It was just, you know, it was just an incredible experience. I'll never forget. I've never had an experience like it. To be cut off from the outside world, thrown into like a jungle, and you're sleeping like in a hammock, and you know, say all the things that you normally, you know, your normal day includes, like a cup of tea when you're up in the morning. It's just gone. Everything's just gone. You know, the family, everything's gone. So it was just amazing experience. I'll never forget. And I'd love to actually go back in someday for a few more days just to remember what it was like. It was such an experience. Yeah. Brilliant.
And then last year you released your book,
The World According to Foggy. What inspired you to write this, and were you pleased with the reception it received?
It really inspired me, to be honest. It was just a case of, I've done the autobiography, I've done a book on bikes, a picture book, things like that. I haven't done it for 10 years, really. So the publishers came to me and said, look, we were going to do a book. I'm thinking, well, what am I going to sell? So I don't know, just want to call it The World According to You. You got this kind of outlook on life and your own sort of way of saying things and your tongue-in-cheek sort of way. So I thought about it. I thought, yeah, I kind of like that. So I sat down with Neil and just told, really, me taking the mickey out myself, really tongue-in-cheek, funny stories that has happened to me. That, you know, I guess it lasts 18 years, really, since retiring from racing, but just me taking the mickey out of life and other sports, not in a nasty way, in a tongue-in-cheek sort of way, really. And just a funny, light-hearted book, which you didn't have to be really involved in, really interested in racing bikes to like the book, really. And, yeah, it's done that really, really well. People really loved it. So it's the funniest thing they've ever read. So I'm really, really pleased with it. Yeah, it's done really well.
Good. Brilliant. So looking back at your career, then, what would you say your proudest achievement is?
Oh, I guess being world champion. I think becoming the champion of the world. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, really. To do it 7 times at 3 different kind of disciplines: TTF1, World Endurance, and the World Superbike. There's not many people who say they're a 7-time world champion. So for me, that's the highlight of it all. Really, it's incredible to still think that I've won 7 world titles.
Yeah, amazing. So what's next for Carl Fogarty?
Oh God, I don't know. I'm just involved now with CCM Motorcycles as like a director of performance for them, like a bit of an ambassadorial role, and helping them promote them as a small British motorcycle company who have got sort of big plans and great little product out at the moment. And so that's my main thing is with them really, and a bit of charity work that I do with NSPCC. I've got a few new products out, like with a helmet, some new foggy helmets out, with my designs from the 90s with LS2 helmets. So I'll be busy enough next year, really. I just fit and help in, enjoy my holidays when I can, and I'll be after that, really.
Lovely. Okay, well that's all the questions we've got.
A big thank you to our guest for being the subject of another Beyond the Title interview. If you like this, why not browse the website and see if there's anything else that takes your fancy. Don't forget to like our Facebook page to receive updates of forthcoming interviews and to see more information about me and what I do. Thanks again, and hopefully see you next time for another Beyond the Title interview.